Hello YouTube, this is an update on my do-it-yourself in-wall reef aquarium with the do-it-yourself live rock in the Lost City of Atlantis theme. You know what, I'd have to track back and guess how many weeks or months this has been. I'd have to look at the videos myself, so I can't really say for sure on that, but I'll try to give it an update when I post it on YouTube. But I think things are going well. In general, I feel like my tank could use a little stability. I think I could use an auto top system and some dosage pumps, but I've not wanted to invest in that just yet because I keep thinking I'm going to get a controller, but things show up and happen, and then I think, well, maybe I don't need the controller, and so on and so forth. But I think in general the aquarium's come along. The corals are looking pretty good, especially the soft corals. I have one stony die. My candy cane coral that was doing really bad is starting to come back some, and then my new candy cane that was just like a rough looking frag to start with has actually gotten split into 2 heads, so that's good. The Duncan I've got like 5 heads, but it's looking really angry right now. I don't know exactly why, but I did a water change yesterday and that may be part of it. But I think sometimes too, I think my Coral Beauty's nipping at them some, but that's the Duncan there. This is the candy cane that's split into 2 heads. Toadstool looks great. Of course, they're real hardy, so it loves pretty much anything, but it looks really cool coming out of that column there on the side. But some Kenya trees and some zinnia spreading all over the place, plus I got a big cluster of zinnia up here and up there. Those seem to be doing fine. Some of my stuff's not out right now. Setbacks I've had, and let's see, I've gotten I got this big piece of live rock, and I think with that it gave me some Aptasia, and so I had to use some Aptasia X, and it took a couple of treatments, but I think I finally got them under control. Actually right now I don't see any, so it's been several weeks since I treated. But that little coral that's on top of that rock actually came with that rock, and I kept thinking, what is that thing? And it has really came along. I don't know if it's a little brain or what it is, but it's got a snail knocking part of it right now, but it's actually really came along a lot. But I had a question about my coralline, and that's why I'm posting today. And so to get onto the coralline here, you can see that the coralline started to grow on this rock really well, and that's the pink coloration. That's actually a type of algae that is starting to spread over onto the rocks, and so there's pink, reds, purples, but this pink in the higher light areas seems to be more dominant. As you get down kind of in some shadow areas, like underneath that rock, you'll see some purple down there, and it likes the light over here, and the shadow over here, there's some purple on that rock. Just kind of, it's one of those things that adds a lot, and eventually it'll, cover everything. I've not really been doing anything special other than I do use the bionic system, and I do water changes with a high quality salt, like a reef crystals, and I've had pretty good success with that. It seems to like the smoother surfaces better. Like the first things it encrusted over was my pumps. My pumps have turned pink just about, so it likes those smoother surfaces. So like this column in this high flow area has done really well about getting it on that, but it's starting to get on the other rocks too, the more porous rocks. I can see it on there. I don't know how well it shows up in the video, but there's little pink spots all over it. So I think those will slowly but steadily crust in a little bit better. But those are made with oyster shell and a sand and Portland cement, whereas these pieces here were, I think, a higher sand mix. I think there was some oyster shell in there, but mostly I had a higher sand mix in there. You know what, I think in these oyster shell ones, I don't think I actually had any sand. I'd have to watch my own videos, but I think those had no sand. These had sand in them. And then the Tonga branch was all sand in Portland cement. And I just added that Tonga branch not too long ago. I don't know if it was in the last video, but it's already got coralline little spots on it up towards the top there. I can see pink in it, but that stuff just starts coming along. As far as livestock goes, mushrooms are spreading, the zoas are growing off their plugs, and they're really liking this, kind of growing around in the shadows there. Polly's doing really well. That zoa's doing well, same here. some more mushrooms. So things are coming along. I think, I don't know why my Duncan's so upset. And these two leathers have been doing awesome. And they're kind of upset right now too. The leather that's coming out of that crack in that rock too. But I think, like I say, I've aggravated them. And I'm not too sure that Kenya tree that's all drawn up, that I think my coral beauty nipped at it. I saw it nip at it yesterday, and so I think it's, for whatever reason, maybe I need to get some more food in there, but it's going around kind of nipping. The frog spawn that did terrible is finally, I just stuck it out of the way, and it seems to be coming back. I mean, I think if you just kind of leave stuff alone, don't get too frustrated with it. Worst case scenario, if it dies, it's just some more live rock in your system. It seems to be coming up. Looks like it's got knocked over on its side a little bit, and I'll have to straighten that up. And even that, you can't see real here, but there's a candy cane and kind of stuck back there in the corner. I kind of stuck it in there because I didn't want to look at it because I was frustrated how poorly it was doing. But it started to, not so much from this angle, but the other angle, it's really started to put some heads back on. So I think one head's pretty much full. Looks like it's splitting. And there's a lot of little heads kind of re-coming out of the rock back there that you can't really see real well. But again, I think in general I've not really had much issues, like they say, with I've not had any diatom issues. I've not had any pH issues with the do-it-yourself live rock. All that seems to, if anything, it's just any issues I've had, it's been because of maintenance. Like I've not done water changes as often as I should. I don't have my system is stable with the auto top off and some of those things that I should. But in general, I think for keeping soft corals and, growing coralline and keeping fish, I mean, the system I got is really nice. I'd like to advance on up. I think before I add many other stony corals, I'll definitely have to get a controller, maybe an auto top off system and some dosing pumps, but to keep my bionic or whatever system I end up using well up to date. But I think the theme looks good. Coraline's coming on okay, and I appreciate y'all's comments. Thanks.